Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet. Lakers, driven by your Southern California Honda dealers.
Give a little worthy clap, Brez. Come on, Brez. Give a little worthy clap, Brez. There you go. There you go, Brez. Well, you know, you're in the space for it. I was saying, you're in the space for it, Brez. I'll come on with you, give you a couple shoulders. There you go.
I was telling our producer, B. Moore, the pregame show. I don't know if we'd laughed that much in a pregame show in a long time, and we already started off tonight. There you go. A bit of laugh. Brez, good work right there. Chris McGee, Byron Scott, J.worthy, Mike Bresnahan, Allie and Trudell are out in Las Vegas. Lakers win the inaugural in-season tournament title. Dominant fashion. I got an incredible stat for you. They only made 2 threes, but it doesn't matter because from the jump, defense and Byron, that relentless pursuit, attacking what the job they did on Halliburton, but then on the offensive end, 86 points in the paint. AD was incredible. LeBron, AR, all had big games.
Well, again, it also goes to show you that you can win games without having to shoot a high percentage of three-pointers. And like you said, when you're continuously attacking the paint and you're scoring at that type of clip, 86 points in the paint, it's going to be hard to lose a game, especially when you play defense the way the Lakers played defense tonight. And again, we go back to the beginning of the game. This was going to be a true test for them on the defensive end because of the fact that they were playing a very, very good young Indiana Pacers team who led the league basically in every offensive category. So for them to come out with this win in the fashion that they did it, holding them to 108 points or whatever, and then 36% shooting from the field, it tells me that, you know, they're getting healthy at the right time, but that defense, man, and we all know it, it wins championships.
Big Game, I don't want to take away from your opening comments, so remember what you're going to say, but Big Game, this team averages 128 points per game, the Pacers. #1 in the NBA. Brez showed it on his three-point play. They lead in every single category. They shot 37% tonight and 109 points. That is not a coincidence.
No, it's not.
Lakers defense.
No, it's not. And they've been building on it for some time. You look at what they're able to do in the second half of last season, ousting the Memphis Grizzlies and the Golden State Warriors with their defense. They were starting to churn then. Now they seem to have it all together, healthy, with the exception of Gabe Vincent. As great as LeBron and AD were, and they were, trust me, they were the bond. I thought Reddish at the beginning of the game really set the tone on Halliburton.
It says a lot when AD has a 41-20 game, 5 assists and 4 blocks. LeBron goes for 28, gets the MVP. AR has a huge game, 22 in the first half, ends up with 24. And we're talking about Cam Reddish and Vando and the job they did. It was that important in this game.
Yeah, it's been building for a while. Look, the other night they allowed 89 points against a New Orleans team that can fill it up. The game before that, they held Phoenix to 103. The Laker defense is really what's been propelling them, not just in this tournament, but over the last month period. And then you get to tonight, and the Laker offense just dominated. They made 2 threes. How do you win a game so easily when you make only 2 threes? You get 86 points in the paint. That's what you do. And you held the Pacers to 44. Every shot that LeBron made, he made 10 shots. Every shot was in the paint. AD made 16 shots. Every one of those in the paint. You're not going to stop the Lakers. I don't care if they make 0 threes, if those guys are that dominant down low, guys.
I know this doesn't count in the standings or in the win column, but the Lakers, if you count this game, it would be 4 in a row, 5 of 6, and they're doing it as a team, and they're doing it on both ends of the floor. We want to sing LeBron's praises, but first, let's go back to Vegas because LeBron stopped by to chat with Mike Trudell.
All right, LeBron, you've accomplished pretty much everything you could accomplish in the NBA. This was a new thing that could be accomplished. You treated it seriously from the start. Now you're the first ever champion of the in-season tournament.
You know, it's pretty cool to be able to say you was the first to do something. And, you know, the in-season tournament was brought together. And we just tried to play our best ball, you know, and we was able to come down to Vegas and win a semifinals game versus the Pelicans and then versus a very, very talented, well-coached Indiana Pacers team. So, you know, this will go down in history. You know, we're the first team to ever win the in-season tournament. So I'll take some history for sure.
You talk about leaving a legacy, right? And now this is part of it. It's going to be around for a long time, and people eventually kind of will understand it more and more. And now it's, you know, LeBron James, the Los Angeles Lakers, and your teammates will be on there. It's got to mean something.
It absolutely means something. Anytime you can put the Lakers in the history books for the great of good, it always means something. So I'm happy to be a part of it.
You know, the other thing, saw some of the young guys come over to you. You know, we know about the cash prize, but they're about this age of your son. Is that fun for you to do, just to see the rookies over here and kind of say, thank you, LeBron?
No, it is. It is. You're absolutely right. They are probably about the same age as my son, so it's going to be a hell of a weekend for me. You know, be able to win the in-season tournament, pick up a little dough on the way, and then go see my son tomorrow, you know, at the Gallon Center.
No doubt. Last one for you. You really set the tone in the semifinal. How about AD tonight? You know, kind of doing what he does, not just defensively, he does it every night, but dominating the other end too.
That's what he do, man. Listen, we got a great 1-2 punch, you know, so I took care of the semifinals game, he took care of the finals game, and that's what it's all about, holding each other accountable.
Congrats, LeBron.
Appreciate it, yep.
Trudell and Allie have been doing work out there in Vegas. They finally get to come home tomorrow. I know they're excited about winning that title. So is LeBron James. Listen, I liked what they said in the celebration that we were watching before we came on air, because we've been talking about it throughout this entire in-season tournament. LeBron's attitude towards it from the start, wanting to win, playing at that level, raising the level of everyone around him. When he plays like that, he shows that it's important. The rest of the guys follow. I loved what he had to say about, you know, listen, there are young guys on this team that don't make a lot of money. There are assistant coaches on this team that don't make a lot of money. Everyone's getting a part of this. And I think that's true leadership. And I just love the way he carried himself. I mean, listen, his team went 7-0. 6 of those games counted on the schedule. That's 6-0.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
I mean, again, he is the best leader in all of the NBA. It's no doubt about that, because number one, he leads by example. Number two, he cares. You know, when he's telling these guys about winning and how to win and the type of attitude that you have to take into a game, you know, he does it first, you know. So I'm sure all these guys appreciate the fact that they're getting a chance to play with one of the greatest players that's ever played this game. And he's playing at an extremely high level at 38 years old. And he treated this tournament like it was the NBA playoffs. And that experience alone, being with him, is going to be big for these guys. It's going to pay dividends at the end of the day.
Yeah, he did say that, Big Game. He said, I wanted the younger guys to get a taste of what playoff atmosphere was like and intensity.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron's not only a great player, he also has really great vision. He's a great businessman. I mean, he owns soccer teams, stuff like that. So, and he wants to be an NBA owner. So, as a player, he's setting the tone for his future already by teaching these young kids how to win and how to take an in-season tournament so serious. Somebody like him, a guy that's making $1 billion, has done everything. So he not only has his eye set on now, but he's teaching how to progress and win and carry this forward. And I think this is going to be special for them as they go into the rest of the season, knowing that they can, you know, come together collectively and play some really good defense and beat some good teams. I mean, Indiana was they beat the Celtics
They weren't
and
no
Milwaukee.
Slouch. Yeah, they wasn't no slouch. No doubt about
Indiana
that.
team that just beat
wasn't easy to beat them.
Yeah.
Celtics and the Bucks.
Yeah, by 10 and 9 points, too. They weren't very close.
Yeah.
And they kind of shut down the Halliburton Express. As we said in the pregame show, the previous 2 games, he had 28 assists, no turnovers. He had a couple turnovers already in the first quarter tonight. The Lakers said, all right, you're good. You're already one of the top 5 point guards. We're going to take you out of your game plan. And they did. And no one else really did much for the Pacers. Miles Turner fouled out, not a factor tonight, had 26 and 10 against the Bucks the other night. Buddy Hield, not a factor. Mathurin, not much tonight. So the Laker defense was just swarming and attacking, making life difficult. Of course, if they got to AD, he was there with all the block shots. But it started on the perimeter, and they really locked down A on Halliburton and B the rest of the Pacers' perimeter guys.
Big Game, there's a lot of times where we say, man, AD dominated. He dominated on the defensive end, or this is a big AD game. But when you see numbers like 41 and 20, 16 of 24, 5 assists, 4 blocks, and B and I were talking, watching the game, I don't know, 10 more that he altered?
One thing for sure they talked about is AD and the defense. They were like, damn, I had layup after layup, and I knew he was there. I hesitated. He still got it. Yes, that's the kind of impact he's having.
AD, like I said before the game, you were my pick. I knew you was going to play like this, dog.
You took your shot.
I took my shot. I said AD will play extremely well tonight.
Yeah. I mean, I had Reeves doing 22 and a half.
He did pretty good. Well, and he had LeBron. He did pretty damn good, too. You know, I mean, your boy did okay. You know, Brad, your boy did okay.
I'm actually really ticked off. I've got AD on both my fantasy basketball teams, and these stats do not count in either league.
I feel like they got to make an amendment.
Come on, NBA, make these stats.
It should be
count.
like, okay, which guy wants their stats to count? It could be like AR.
Yeah. I've also got D-Lo. We put his stats aside today.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's funny. If you look at the quarterfinals, we were talking about KD versus LeBron, and LeBron had 30-something points and a bunch of assists, and they really tamped down the Phoenix offense. And then in the semis, we were also talking more LeBron and Laker defense. We haven't really been talking about AD that much. And then finally, here we are in the championship, and we were talking a lot about AD, a 40-20 game. I don't think a lot of people would have predicted that. I mean, that's pretty impressive. By the way, Miles Turner, a very good defensive-minded shot-blocking center, and AD just tore him apart tonight, Keith.
Yeah.
We'll take questions around the room. We do have microphones. Please raise your hand. First question right here on one.
Alan Snow with LVSportsBiz.com. This is for LeBron. After spending 3 days here in Vegas, you got a sense for the kind of fan support in the city. I was kind of curious about your observations now of Las Vegas as an NBA city.
Has not changed. My enthusiasm about being here post-career, bringing a team here has not changed. The fans are amazing here. Like I said, they have everything here already. WNBA team, have a baseball team coming in soon, NFL team, hockey team. F1 was just here over the Thanksgiving week. Listen, everything is here. I mean, it's a place that love, great attractions, and I think the NBA will be another great addition to the city. Obviously, we see the success with Summer League and things of that nature, and the ACES as well. So, it'll be fun.
Mike, standing here on the right.
Yeah, AD on the court, LeBron said that he led the way in the semifinal. You kind of took things over tonight. Just all the times that you played together, winning the title, the other big games in the playoffs. How did you guys kind of come together and do it again in this context?
We've been doing it together for a long time, 5 years now, and we just figure it out. We know each other's tendencies, what we like to do. And obviously, crunch time, we get to our, infamous pick and roll, where it's tough to stop. But we feed off one another. We say Thursday, Bron had it going. Tonight, it was me, and he still did his thing. So, but it just wasn't us two. Obviously, the whole team, Austin, D-Lo, everybody contributed tonight. Cam with his defense, TP. So it was a great team win tonight.
Dan here on the right.
Guys, the two of you guys celebrated a title together. Feels like forever ago in Florida. But what did this experience with this group tell you about those prospects moving forwards, and did the kind of the intensity of these games show you that this could be a group that has a real shot at doing it again in May and June?
I mean, I think we're just thinking too far down the road. We still want to put it in perspective that it's still December, but we like where we are right now. But we want to continue to work our habits. Continue to get healthy as well. But I think right now where we are in December, I would take it. I would take it, but I'm definitely not looking to. I'm not looking to May and June. That's too far. It's too many steps that needs to be taken still in order for our team to be who we want to be once the postseason starts. So, as of today, I like the way we played in the semifinals on Thursday and then tonight. Our defense intensity, in order for us to win and win at the highest level, we have to defend, and we've been doing that over the last few weeks.
Vinny back.
Vince Goodwill, Yahoo Sports. AD, the stats won't count tonight towards the regular season, but the way that you were the catalyst for the defense, what does it mean for you to do that in a game that matters?
Obviously, it means a lot because it helped the team win. But anytime I step on the floor, I know I'm the anchor of the defense. Giving guys the freedom to press up and get some ball pressure, and if they get beat, I'm there at the rim to alter the shot or block it. But that's my job. I'm constantly talking, with the guys, especially, me and Bron have great chemistry as far as, our defensive schemes and what we like to do as the 4 and the 5. But overall, I think, we've been locked in defensively, Obviously, it helps getting Vando back and Cam, Rui, to be able to do a lot more things defensively. But it's my job to be the anchor and lead the team on the defensive end.
Dave?
LeBron, you've now played 5 seasons and counting with AD. That's more than you played with Dwayne and Chris Bosh in Miami. That's more than you played with Kyrie and Kevin in Cleveland. What has he meant to your career?
I mean, everything. I mean, especially at the later stages of my career, to be able to get, a young, hungry, alpha male to go out there and just do the things that he do. It's definitely, giving me an opportunity to be able to not only watch as he's continued to grow, but also be able to try to inspire him as well, as he continued to grow in his career and vice versa. So, I feel like, when we're on the floor together, we're healthy. We know what we're capable of doing. We just played too many games together. We've shared too many moments together, played in too many big moments together to fail each other. So, it's been everything, like I said, especially at the later stage of my career.
LeBron and Anthony, it seems like I ask you guys this question often, but what does it mean to have Austin Reeves play at this level?
It means a lot. I mean, what he did tonight, not just tonight, but what he's been doing this entire season has been unbelievable. He actually takes a lot of pressure off us, too. We draw so much attention, and he's able to go one-on-one or, play make for himself or for the other guys. So he's meant a lot to our organization, to our team. There's nothing that he can't do on the offensive end, and, he's locking in defensively. So, he means a lot to our ball club, and, it just shows every time he steps on the floor.
Hold on. Last two. Joanne?
LeBron, over here, you just said what you and AD are capable of when you guys are on the floor together, but no one from this current roster, no one else what was on that championship team. What have you learned about the rest of the group over going 7-0 in the in-season tournament and then really the first quarter of this season?
I think it's just growth. I think every moment we've grew throughout this in-season tournament. Like you said, in the 7-0, I think it's been high intense games, and we've just grown. Guys have, I feel like guys have felt a lot more comfortable in their roles. We've had a pretty good understanding of like rotations. Know who you're gonna be playing with. Know what you guys want to do out on the floor. And like AD said, getting Vando back, getting Rui back has definitely helped our front court, helped our size. Getting Cam back has helped us out a lot. Not too many people will talk about it, but one of the biggest shots of tonight's game was they made their run, they cut it to 3, and Cam hits that big time 3 in front of our bench to put it up 6, and we didn't go back after that. So, Cam was just been big time for us, and I'm happy to see him thrive, under this role with us, because he deserved it for sure.
Kobe here on the right.
AD, to your right, there's a lot said about you and your offensive performances, throughout the road season. Just to have this kind of performance, 40-20 on this stage, what does that mean to you? What does that mean for you?
It don't really mean much. I just try to do everything I can to win a basketball game. Obviously, my teammates put me, in a great position to be successful. But obviously this is, special for us. Just winning the inaugural in-season tournament. But we want to win the same thing in June. So to step in the right direction, obviously. But even though it's a big performance, it's another game, and we got to continue it going. Starting back on Tuesday.
Thanks, guys. First question right here on the front on 2. We got the microphone to your left.
Sorry.
Right.
Steve Karp with the Sporting Tribune. 28 points tonight. Did you feel you needed to contribute that much to earn your $500,000? And what are you going to do with it, by the way?
Honestly,
what do you do with all that money?
Honestly, I have no idea. The only thing I could, actually think of is join a golf club in LA somewhere, so I can golf whenever I want out there. But I just try to play the game the right way, and everything kind of worked tonight.
Next question over here on the right on 1. Go ahead.
it's been a big day for LA with this and Ohtani coming. What does it mean for you specifically to bring hardware to Los Angeles?
Nah, it means a lot. There's the sports in LA is, I think second to none. And just to be in a place that, loves the, game of basketball, one, but sports in general is sweet. And, hopefully we can bring the city, championships, throughout all sports.
Joanne, go ahead.
Austin, 80, 41 points, 20 rebounds, 4 blocks, 5 assists. What can you say about his performance tonight? And we saw him scream into the crowd, and you don't really see that from him often. So just kind of the energy that he brought and the vocalness.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think I need to say anything. I think all what he did stood for itself. He was big on the offensive glass, always defense, and then obviously 41 points is, a lot of points. And when he plays like that, there's, probably no one, but not many people better than him in the league. So shout out to him for, doing that tonight and basically for the whole season we've had so far.
Standing on your left, Dan.
And there's a lot of basketball to be played between now and the goal that you guys have for this team this season. But did going through this process affirm anything for you? You'd call this the most talented team, I believe, like in building the season, but like specifically defensively. Did this show you what kind of a defense this group could potentially build, and what would that mean for you guys in terms of accomplishing that big goal later?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can, I don't know what the final, they had 109. They had 99 with, I think, 2 to play or 1:30 to play. And anytime you can hold obviously the number 1 offense in the league, and, a guy like Tyrese, his efficiency and the way he plays the game, I thought, regardless of, Cam's points, rebounds, assists, I thought he was one of the best players on the floor tonight with the way that he pressured, kind of deaded their outlets, kind of slowed their pace down. And just as a unit, everybody seemed to be locked in on, the task at hand. And if that's the case, then we believe we can be really good.
Kobe here on the right.
Austin, to your right, AD said himself that you guys obviously have bigger goals. You want to be in the same position here in June. But what does winning the inaugural in-season tournament, winning the first NBA Cup mean to you?
It's awesome. Anytime you can be the first to win or first to do anything or win anything, it's cool. The money's obviously a good, extra bonus. But anytime we get on the court and compete as a unit, we want to win regardless of, the tournament or a regular season game. But to, be able to say that we won the first one is really cool.
Do you view yourself as that third guy on the team behind LeBron and AD? And what is your role on this team?
I don't know. I don't think about it. Obviously, we got a lot of really good players, especially D'Lo. And I think those, that third role or third, star, comment, kind of can just be thrown around. It could be anyone on any night. And like I said about Cam tonight, he didn't score a lot, but I felt like he was one of the best players on the court with the way he defended and really, changed the game on that end of the floor. But I don't think anybody on our team's worried about, who the third guy or fourth guy or fifth guy is. We just want to win.
Anyone with last question in the back right, standing under the light.
What's up, Austin? Number one, undrafted. Small town Oklahoma, a lot of people watching you back home. What does it feel to, on the on the bright lights, big stage, get a win today and, show people that it's possible?
It means a lot. I've spoke about it a lot. Just being able to, bring light to, kids that had the same situation as I did growing up. For me, being from a small town of 1,100 people, not a lot of people, leave. They graduate high school. They might go to college and stay there and basically just work their whole life there, find a job around, the town that you live in, but just being able to show kids that, it's possible to chase your dream. And regardless of what your dream is, don't let anybody tell you that it's not possible. I probably had a lot of people look at me sideways when I was, running around school telling everybody I wanted to be in the NBA. And, I didn't care what they thought. I was just going to chase that regardless.
Start off in the second row on the right. Go ahead, Scott. Can still see kind of the emotions poured out in what is just a regular season type game that's a little bit elevated. Can you kind of describe what you and your teammates are feeling after this tough loss?
Yeah, I mean, we're sick. I mean, frustrated. Yeah, we just got outplayed tonight from start of the game to end of the game. Just didn't do the job on the loose balls, didn't rebound, didn't get enough stops when needed. They just outplayed us, and it's frustrating. And, it's funny because it's like everybody says this has like the NCAA tournament feel. But after a game like that, and you're sitting in the locker room, you're like, damn, like, motherfuckers ain't graduating. You know what I mean? We play on Monday. So, yeah, it's definitely frustrating. And you got to, take that one on the chin. And we got a flight tomorrow, and we play Detroit on Monday. So I know it has that NCAA tournament feel, championship feel, but shit, I mean, we're playing a couple of days. So it's all part of the season. I mean, that's a good question. I just think if you let that, like, we've done some great things to get here, competed against some really good teams and battled, and you can't let that happen for no reason. You know what I mean? So if you allow this loss to roll over, and we got a 4-game road trip coming up here, you got to take care of business and handle it the right way and, celebrate the successes of it, but at the end of the day, this is just like the regular season. It's game 22, 23. Gotta move on.
Front row on the right, Willie, go ahead.
Tyrese, Willie Ramirez, Associated Press. Couple for you. I was watching the monitor after the game. You were making your way through the pack of winning Lakers until you found LeBron. What is it? Can you share with us anything you may have said to you? I know you idolized him growing up. It was just that moment in finding him, seeking him out, congratulating him.
Yeah, I think just, congratulating the team. They did a great job. Everybody competed. I think at the end of the day, it's just one great I'm just talking to a great, you know what I mean? And congratulating him on the win and, moving on. I think that he's shown me love constantly since I've came in the NBA, and obviously I have, for the majority of my life. So, it was great to compete against him and that team, and they're a good team, and, earn that win.
One more for you. Obviously, I mean, you're coming off an all-star season last year, and you're putting up some great numbers. People are putting you in the MVP conversation. But just this week, being here, and you mentioned the NCAA tournament feel, right? Is there anything that you felt you've grown in just in these 4 days? Anything you sort of learned about yourself and coming together for this inaugural tournament, leading up to the championship?
I think these games. Sorry. I think they've said like these games have had, a playoff type feel. And so playing against Boston, playing against Milwaukee, playing against the Lakers, just seeing how different coverages are, seeing how teams are going to guard me. I think tonight was interesting. There was a lot of putting 2 on the ball and making me make reads out of it. I had a couple early turnovers, bad ones. But then after that, I don't know what we shot from 3. I don't have it in front of me, but I've 10 for 41 or something like that. We missed a lot of good looks, and that happens. It's a make or miss league, and I think for me, it's just understanding how teams are going to guard me moving forward. And every team doesn't have Anthony Davis and a bunch of 6'8", 6'9" wings, so that there's that as well. But just understanding how different looks are going to come, and this didn't have a regular season feel at all. Like I'm used to playing LeBron. Whatever he plays is 30, 35 minutes. It felt like him and AD never came off the floor. You know what I mean? It was a playoff type feel. So just getting accustomed to that, I think, was really good for me. And makes me want to play in more games that have some meaning to them, so to handle the rest of this season the right way so I can get to the playoffs and feel that.
Third row on the left. Go ahead, Gary.
Tyrese, Gary Washington, Boston Globe. You guys have won 3 straight before this. This doesn't really count. But if not for that in-season tournament, you guys are a nice little winning streak. People aren't looking at you. With this tournament, do you think the rest of the East and the rest of the league views you differently for the last 60 games? Will you not be overlooked by opponents? Is Indiana Pacer basketball suddenly elevated because of this run?
That's a good question. I don't think that really happens anymore. I think last year we snuck up on teams. Teams didn't really know what to expect, but I think now when you play the Pacers, you know what to expect. You know we're going to run. Better have your track shoes ready. Be ready to run with us, and we're going to score, and the game's going to be up and down. So I think teams know what to expect at this point. I don't think people didn't expect us to get to here in the championship game, but I think teams are prepared for us. And, we've beaten Boston, beaten Milwaukee. Those are two of the top teams in the East. We play Milwaukee here in a couple of days. They're going to be ready for us. So I think teams know what to expect when we come in the gym, and I don't think anybody's taking us lightly.
Back to the right side,
Hi.
Steve, third row.
Steve Ashburner with NBA.com. The networks and the media have sort of framed these games around you and your rising star. You, meanwhile, have constantly talked about winning and the team. How do you balance those values with the fact this is a star-driven league and people are excited to learn more about you?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that's what, like you said, it's a star-driven league. In a world that's so like me, I just want the focus to be on, our group and our team and what we do. I think that it's kind of tiring. I think that the in-season tournament's been really good because it's forced, and us having success has been good because I feel like it's forced the media to talk about basketball and talk about what's in front of you and not have to talk about legacies and all the BS that come with it and talk about basketball. So, I think that's what's been good about us succeeding. And of course, there's going to be people have said MVP or All-NBA, All-Star, whatever, like that happens. But at the end of the day, I just want to play basketball and I want to succeed as a team. And I know that team success, individual success comes with that. So I think that's been something that I really enjoyed about our run right now is that it's forced the media to talk about what's in front of them, which is basketball. And I think as a person who loves the sport, I think everybody can appreciate that.
Right side standing. Go ahead, Tim.
Tyrese, you guys have talked a lot about the stretch you had at the beginning of the season, how it's a favorable stretch. You need to take advantage of it. Obviously, you had this great run through the tournament. What does it now require for you guys to be able to take this and move forward to have the kind of success you want over the rest of the season to get into the playoffs, sort of, carry this forward the way you guys want it to?
Yeah, I think just paying attention to what has worked for us and understanding that, we can beat anybody. You know what I mean? We've proven that. And I think just ultimately it's the same as always. You go back, watch the film on this game, see what we can learn from that, and just keep growing. Like, that's the great thing about playing 82 games. We play again on Monday. I know everybody thinks that they're like a genius to say that we need to play more defense or whatever the case may be. But that's the great thing about 82 games is, we get time to grow on that. Our offense, we get time to grow on that as well. That's the beautiful thing about the NBA and basketball in general. So I think just keep growing, keep learning, and not viewing the season. And I think it's easy for a young team to look, especially now that we've tasted some success, to look so far ahead and be like, oh, we get by the time we get to February, by the time of the playoffs. It can't be that. It's got to be what's in front of us, and you got to understand that. So this game you can be frustrated by, watch the film tomorrow, but we play the Pistons on Monday. So you got to move on and just take it one day, one game at a time.
Second row middle, Dustin.
Tyrese, we talked a lot about just the possible exposure of this whole thing, but what do you think, I guess, the value is when you're talking about exposing this team to other players and it comes to building this roster? You've talked about recruiting people in the past. Obviously, there's only so much you can do on an immediate level, but what do you think this team has shown in terms of its style of play and how attractive that is to anybody else you might be trying to bring into this team, whether through trades, free agency, or anything in the future?
Yeah, I think it's ultimately just, trust your eyes, trust what's in front of you. I think people see how we play and how fun it looks, and I think that I'm a player that people want to play with. So, that at the end of the day, I can help, and I talk to guys, and everybody talked about USA and all the constant recruiting that goes within USA and stuff like that. But my job is just to play basketball. You know what I mean? And if guys want to come play with Indy, I'm gonna be here. You know what I mean? So I'm waiting whenever guys want to come. But we got a great group of guys in our locker room as we speak, and I'm just focused on that right now. And it's the NBA. There's a lot of moving parts, but I'm focused on the guys in our locker room right now, and continuing on with the season.
Final question, second row left.
Hey, Tyrese, I'll help you move on from the game here. You're the unofficial president of the Brock Purdy fan club. Can you just talk about you and Brock's kind of rise right now? I mean, you're kind of breaking out right now. He's been breaking out for a while. Can you just shed some light on that?
Yeah, that's a fire question. Yeah, me and Brock went to school together. Came into school together. We both started both as freshmen, and that's somebody I can really call a friend. And to see what he's doing and succeeding the way he is, that's really cool to see, especially being from Iowa State, where it's not a school that's expected to have this much success at the professional level in any sport. You know what I mean? So it's cool to see my brother do well. And yeah, like you said, from the moment that he started, I always was. I always was showing him nothing but love, and it was cool in college. Coach Campbell, the football coach, we used to have like leadership meetings, me, Brock, and Coach Campbell, and we had a book we used to read, and we'd talk about different stuff. So like that was cool, and just seeing him succeed and seeing what he's doing, it means a lot to me, and means a lot to people, Iowa State fans in general, to see us, guys doing that, and hopefully it's a good recruiting tool for the Cyclones moving forward.
Thank you, Tyrese.
All right.
Switch my hat up on.
We'll take questions for Coach right around the room. We'll take first question in the back right.
What we got? Hey, Coach. 2 questions. First, dominant performance by AD, 41 points, 20 rebounds, and then also a sleeper, Cam Reddish, 2 defensively, what he was able to do. He's been through a lot, too, in the season. Just wanted to get your thoughts on those 2.
Well, with AD, just us wanting to enforce our will, impose our will on the game, really control the paint, on both sides of the ball. And, he's the guy to do that. He's our anchor. He's our guy that carries a big load, in terms of our points in the paint than what we have tonight. 86 points in the paint, and just not settling. We show them the stats, the points per possession with no paint touch as opposed to a paint touch, and it's like night and day. And so just this process of going through the early parts of the season, it's a process of discovery, and you being able to be successful and have a surplus in terms of the win-loss column as opposed to a deficit while going through that process is huge. And obviously, man, shout out to the NBA, Adam Silver, the crew, everybody that put this idea and took this idea and made it a reality. Even the way the games were interwoven into the regular season, it's a huge shot in the arm, especially for our group. The guys we brought back, the guys we added, and just playing some highly, highly intense basketball games, and with the playoff atmosphere / NCAA tournament atmosphere, being in a neutral city, I dig it. It was a beautiful experience, and shout out to the Indiana Pacers. They're a hell of a ball club, really on the upswing. Huge upside for that group, but I'm so proud of our group. I couldn't be more proud of LeBron and AD's leadership. And you mentioned Cam, Torian, these guys have been doing dirty work for us all year. It's amazing, man. You just put people in a loving environment and allow them to just embrace it, encourage them to embrace it, put the work in, and we got top to bottom within our organization, everyone that's all about winning. Winning people as well as winning professionals. So it doesn't surprise me what Cam is doing, or any of our guys, and AD, just putting the team on his back, and just Bron's focus, him being vocal and, on the court, off the court, film sessions, what have you, walkthroughs, just everybody pushing the line in the right way, holding the rope with both hands and pulling it all in the same direction.
Third row on your right.
Over here. LeBron said that, he knows what he and AD are capable of together when they're both healthy, kind of referencing this and the 2020 title. From first coaching against them as a duo to now having coached them for almost a season and a half, how special are they together as a superstar duo, and just what are they capable of moving forward?
I mean, I think the sky's the limit. They're a hell of a 1-2 punch, and that 1 or 2 could be either one of them on any given night. And at the end of the day, you know, they know how to take it to that next level when everything is on the line. And so we wanted to make sure we talked about being the first, being on the right side of history and being the first to do something, you know. The passion and the love, or should I say the love that creates the passion for the game that causes you to be involved. And then you have an individual success, and obviously it's a team sport. That individual success rolling over into team success keeps you involved, and then the opportunity to make history keeps you coming back. And those guys have both experienced that on an individual level, individual success and team success. So have I. You know, someone undrafted, never thought I'd have a long NBA career, played 8 years, had the opportunity to win a championship, and then transition into coaching and doing the same and having a 2021 championship year. And now back on that same journey. You know, a lot of people make money. A lot of people get an opportunity to make money. Very few get the opportunity to make history. And that says a lot, you know, just the way they lock down the whole environment for us to be focused on the job at hand, whether it was New Orleans, especially once we got here to Vegas, the focus, you could just see it, the focus, the spirit of the team. Both of those guys spearheaded that tone. That tone was definitely set.
BT, back right.
Darvin, what do you see in Austin that allows him to raise his level to play so much?
Man, Austin is, I don't think he gets enough credit for how competitive he is. He's a competitor, man. You watch him work on his game. You watch him try to go make plays for his team, make plays on both sides of the ball. He's just a highly elite, intelligent basketball thinker and worker. And it shows, you know, once we get in these moments where we need him. As I mentioned with Bron and AD, Austin is also one of those guys that can carry the group at certain segments of the game, finish games, make all the big plays you ask him to make, and some that you weren't expecting. And so I love him to death. He wasn't feeling well tonight. I don't think a lot of people understand that. You know, we come off a long 4-game trip back to the East Coast and all down through Oklahoma, back home, back out here. We're changing climates, so, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, he put it together, man, and had one of the game, you know, probably arguably, you know, everybody will talk about reference the Phoenix game, but the game he had tonight, we needed every bit of it. And, you know, he's just a flat-out competitor, unassuming, just wants to handle his business and be there for his teammates.
Kobe, we're sitting right here.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on this right side over here, man. The door opened and closed, and somebody's phone just went off, man. Can we get it together over here, please?
Somebody's phone was your
Can we
PR
get it over?
guy.
Is it okay? Can we get it together, please?
That was your PR guy with the phone, by the way.
Damn.
Next question.
Going back to
we in Vegas, man. No snitching. Fair
enough.
There's a lot of desert out here, man. Just relax. But go ahead, man.
My bad. Going back to Cam, especially even going before the season, all he had been through his career, bouncing around teams. What does it mean? What do you think this can do for him, his confidence to be on this stage, you know, guard guys at this level? Not just tonight with Tyrese, but, you know, the first quarter of the season.
Before we signed Cam, he and I had several conversations, and once we signed him, he just told me, Coach, just be straight up and clear with me. Whatever you need me to do, whatever I'm not doing, just shoot straight. I said, oh, you got the right guy. Cam is phenomenal. Like I said, it's just like me seeing Vando when he was in Minnesota going crazy on the glass and me stopping him in the hallway in Milwaukee. And after they had beaten us at home, telling him, I hope I get to coach you one day. I love the way you play. It's the same thing with Cam. I got to see Cam guard one of the best players on our team, one of the best players in the league, him being an all-star, and Chris Middleton back in the Eastern Conference Finals in 2021, not only did he play elite defense, he was knocking down threes. I believe he had 4 made threes that can't remember which particular game it was, but he always stuck in my mind. He's the quintessential 3-and-D guy, but he also can handle the ball. We use Cam to initiate plays. Cam could switch off on basically anybody. He has a knack for getting deflections and steals, comes up with huge rebounds. He can finish. He can make space the floor. So all of that said, I just told him to embrace the work. The environment is going to love on you, so make sure you submerge yourself into the environment that we've created with our program. So, and, you know, he's going to flourish within it.
Last two here, and then Barry.
Coach, speaking of Las Vegas, you spent 2 games and 3 nights here. What's your assessment of Las Vegas as a potential NBA market?
No, it's you know, I'm not in. It's above my pay grade, at least right now. But Las Vegas is definitely an NBA city. It's a total professional sports town. You know, it has the infrastructure alone of what it represents. You know, everyone, the tourists, everyone coming here. It's built-in energy and electricity here, and so you see from the Aces and you know the Raiders, everybody that's coming here, NHL, like it's built for what we just witnessed out here tonight. And you know, we felt like we had a little bit of a home court advantage of being so close to LA. There's a ton of LA Laker fans here, so I mean, but that said, just in general theory, I think Las Vegas would be a great NBA market.
Barry, last question, next row.
Thanks. Hey, tell me, to your point, how when you come off of this, you're playing in Dallas on Tuesday night. This is kind of unprecedented to win a championship, and then you go back to the regular season. How do you plan to handle it?
Like we handle our business all the time, man. We just stay lock and step, keep our rhythm together, understand that no matter what, we have to be the most competitive together, accountable team on the floor, and then within that realm, you have to bring the energy, the effort, and the discipline. And this is a great source of positive stimuli for us with this group, trying to come together with guys coming from being inactive to being active and being in rhythm, the continuity, and then also the heightened awareness because of we're playing an in-season tournament. And I think just everyone being able to have their competitive spirit revealed and people, their comrades, to see their competitive spirit was a huge shot in the arm for us. Our group needed this, and we needed to win this. You know, if it goes the other way and you try to rationalize whatever, but the fact that we were able to come here and do what we did, you know, obviously it was a lopsided game here in the semifinal game, but Indiana put up a great fight. You need a mask. Indiana put up a great fight, and they're a good up and coming ball club, but we needed this. We'll be okay, man. We'll be okay. Trust me. Nah, man. I think the joy you saw is authentic, obviously. The competitiveness is authentic. And we know, we are well aware of what's waiting on us on this road trip. And, you know, San Antonio, they're going through, you know, their own process of discovery, but make no mistake about it, each and every night in this league is not easy anymore. There's no sleepwalk games. Everybody is coming to play hard. They're going to force you to execute, force you to play with toughness and togetherness and competitiveness in order to secure a win. No, it's not going to be a layup. I don't think there's a layup anywhere in the league, period.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
The thing that I love the most about tonight's game, the 2 made threes that we had, we only took 13 threes. So real early in the game, guys recognized that, hey, we're not making threes, so let's get to the hoop.
I think it's such a great point. First of all, awesome breakdown. But I think you bring up such a great point. In today's game, teams win a certain way. And you see this in other sports, football as well. But there's certain times, James, where you have to pivot and change the script. Because if you're not shooting threes well, it's hard to change that and say we're going to still hoist 35 threes. They only took 13, and they started attacking a different way. Now, flip side of that is semifinals. They made 17 threes, 35 attempts. but tonight they went a different way. It's pretty important to be able to win different ways.
Being able to deviate and change direction is key in any sport, especially in the NBA. They didn't need the three, and I think they're a smart enough team to know that, you know, what's working for them is working, and don't do anything until you have to. So they hit 2 big ones when they needed to, and that was the game.
How hard is it on the fly to be able to change game plans? Or
you know what, to be honest with you, when you got a team like this that's full of veterans, that is extremely smart, and like I said, when they realize, hey, man, we're not knocking down threes, but what we can do is get to the basket on these guys because they're not great defenders. Yeah. And even though we know Miles Turner is a good defender and a good shot blocker, he wasn't in there. He had to worry about AD. Yeah. You know, so now you're getting down, you know, down to the paint. So it wasn't hard for them, I think, to adjust and understand after that first quarter. First of all, we got a lead. We get into the basket. We're not making threes. Let's keep this game plan for the next 3 quarters, and let's keep defending their perimeter players.
And you're right, defended the three. Indiana only shot 24% from 3, so
really
they
defended
did
well.
it on both ends.
Torian Prince scored 6 points in the win. Let's go inside the Laker locker room. He's with Allie.
Torian, first ever NBA Cup. You guys get the job done. First and foremost, just the feeling around the team and the organization right now. How do you describe it?
It's a good feeling. It always feels good to win. So when you do it the way we did it over the last couple games, it gives you a lot to look forward to.
Undefeated from the start to finish of the in-season tournament. You guys said you wanted to come to Vegas, not just to be here, but to win it all. What does it say about your squad and the way you guys are playing right now?
Man, the attention to detail we kept from the time we landed to the time when we won it, it was impeccable in my opinion. And obviously credit to our leaders and head coaches and the coaches in general for making sure we were prepared.
When you get that kind of performance from Anthony Davis on both sides of the basketball, what does that do for the squad?
Man, it makes our job easy, man. Just being able to press up on guys and play defense, knowing that you got a great shot blocker behind you, and not only that, the rebounds, he was cleaning up everything, and obviously it's just all over the place. It's just, they couldn't have an answer for it, and we didn't even understand what we were seeing either, but credit to AD, and so he continues to keep it going.
I know he's trying to be even more so a vocal leader, but sometimes he is a man of few words. To see that emotion from him, what does that do for the squad?
Yeah, don't let AD fool y'all. He's very, he communicates at a high level a lot, but to see that emotion is good. Like I said, it puts us in a good space and gives us a good aura about everything moving forward.
One final one for you. Obviously, the biggest goal is to win in June. What does this do for you guys moving forward? How do you keep that momentum alive?
I think it gives us a little experience, a little seasoning, and allows us to kind of foresee and be prepared from the jump, even when those days start. And obviously the experience winning it all with back-to-back games and going home or advancing, you got to love that feeling, and to be able to win it all, it gives you a good stepping stone to where we could be in June.
A bonus one for you. What are you going to do with the $500K?
Probably buy some land or something, do something nice for the holidays, save the rest.
Nice. Congrats. Enjoy this one.
Thank you.
AD doing his best Mamba imitation right there. Kobe B, we saw that face many times, didn't we, B?
Yes, we did.